How you guys doing? My name's Brandon, and I'm gonna just do a quick review of the new IPV3 for you. So for those of you that don't know, this is a 150 watt box mod. Takes dual 18650 batteries. And first impressions of it, unlike my Sigelei 100 watt that I received, it works. So that's one good thing. The first thing that I noticed when I went to go put batteries in it, the little tool that they give you for the Allen head screws that they have in the back is crap and stripped out. So I had to find an Allen key that worked, because also the ones that you receive with different addies, it's not that size. So I had to look through my Allen keys, found one that worked, got it out, and luckily it comes with replacement Phillips head screws. So I ended up putting the Phillips head screws in it instead, just because a Phillips screwdriver is way more accessible to me on a regular basis than Allen keys are. So the next first thing that I noticed was the memory function. Anytime you hit the up voltage button, you will get this memory. So it's nice, and I also don't like it at the same time, because even if your screen's lit up, you hit that up, you're getting into memory. So the only way to change your wattage without getting into the memory function is to first hit down, and then you can hit up and go through. So that was I mean, I like the memory function. I like that it saves different wattages that I have, but I would like if it only went into the memory function when you were on a blank screen, because even when the screen's lit up, you hit up, there's my memory 4. So, and then you hit down, it'll go back into it, and you can change it, but you have to hit this down button first. So just keep that in mind. Battery life. I am on my third day. This is about halfway, 11 o'clock on my third day, and I'm about halfway on my battery. So battery life is fantastic. I've been vaping between 75 and 90 watts most of the time. I did a little bit of vaping with my K-Fun right around 28 watts, but that was maybe only for an hour or two. So most of the time I have this 0.2 ohm build Tobe Addy on here. The other thing, next thing I like is the spring-loaded pin. You can see this Addy sits nice and flush on here. The only thing I did notice is it looks to be a little bit closer to this edge than it is on this edge, but that's probably just due to the fact that you have the back panel here. If you took that off, it looks like it would actually overhang the body a little bit on this side. So I mean, it doesn't bother me. I only noticed it after a couple days, but for those of you that are anal about everything being exactly proportional, that might bother you. They have a USB port here on the bottom. However, it will not charge your batteries. This is only for doing software updates, firmware. And they have this charger on the side, which they do not include the cord for. So you have to find what this is and get a charger for it. I haven't looked into it too far, but I haven't found anything that says what kind of voltage, what kind of amperage, I mean anything that they want for this. So that's kind of, maybe I can do some digging and find that, and I'll add it down in the description or comments or something. But as of now, I have absolutely no idea what they want you to plug in here. Some people have said the old Nokia phone chargers will plug in here, but I don't know. So the other thing I noticed, it just seems to be with my K-Fun. My Tobe sits pretty flush and even, but my K-Fun, it seems to be a little bit crooked, and you can see the scrapes there. So I don't think the 510 is crooked. Maybe just the way the pin on my K-Fun makes connection. But it doesn't bother me. Most of the time I have my tobe on here anyway, and as you can see, it sits nice and flush. It's not really crooked, so maybe a tad, but it's not too bad. Next thing, this sensor up here, I will show you. Touch is on, and this must be disabled because it will not fire it. So you can see when I fire it here, you light up, hit this little sensor, you get nothing. So looks like maybe they listened and they disabled it, but I don't even know why it's there at all. Other downside, I wish there were magnets for this back plate. The screws are kind of a pain in the butt, but the battery does last a long time, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And that's just about it. This is 75 watts, so I'll vape this for you real quick. Puts out a nice amount of vapor, and it's definitely a nice smooth. It's a lot better than any of the mechanical mods I have, as far as just the quality of the hit. Nice smooth. Let me drip a little bit more in here. I have one of these hybrid drip tip top caps for the tobe, which is really nice. It never heats up. So I'll take one more hit at 75 watts for you. And it blows some pretty nice clouds. I have to admit, it's not exactly, oh sorry, well, we got the memory function, so I passed it. 150 watts. It says it's gonna fire my 0.2 ohm build. I'm not really focusing. All right, there we go. It's gonna fire it at 6 volts. One other thing I noticed, I have it set to 75 watts, and if I watch it, sometimes it'll fire it at 4.2, sometimes it's 4.3. When I was vaping it on 80 watts, sometimes it was 4.3, sometimes it was 4.4, so maybe there's a small amount of inconsistency with how it reads the resistance, or how, you know, how it determines its voltage. With my Magma, it is atrociously inconsistent. It was firing that anywhere between like 4.5 and 5.2 volts. So I'm not sure, maybe, you know, I'll clean my connections on my Magma, make sure all that's nice and clean. But I'm not sure as to why there's an inconsistency with that. But real quick here, I'll just take a hit of 150 watts for you, just to show you what it's like. That's a hot vape. Way too hot for me. I do not like it, not one bit. So I don't even necessarily find a need to vape this at 150 watts or even 100 watts. 100 watts I can deal with, but 150 is way too much. So for those of you that are, you know, looking for 150 watt, or even maybe waiting for something more than 150 watts, I don't see any reason why you would need anything more than 150 watts. I don't even necessarily see a reason for anything more than 100 with a build around 0.2. If you're getting down to 0.1, 0.15, you know, then you might want to get a little closer to 150 watts. But yeah, anything more than 150 watts is beyond me. But 75 watts is where this definitely comes into its own at 75. I'll just do a quick vape at about 90 watts just to kind of show you. So it definitely chucks the cloud with the tobe. Real quick, I can just show you my build. I have it's a little messy, a little dirty. I haven't changed the cotton in a couple days, but I have a dual stovetop with 22 gauge, 5 wraps, and yeah, it ohms out somewhere in the 0.2 range. I think it was like 0.27, but it definitely vapes good. This setup, this build has fantastic flavor. I think I actually get better flavor out of this tobe with this build than I get out of my Magma, which I didn't think I could find anything with much better flavor than my Magma, but this definitely did it. So if you're looking for the IPV3, you know, those are the pluses and minuses, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the likes, the dislikes. It feels pretty solid. The side with the back sounds a little hollow, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's nice and solid. You're not gonna bend it, you're not gonna break it. If you drop it, it might dent a little bit, but I haven't dropped mine yet, and you know, no scratches, no imperfections. I still have the plastic coating over this screen, so if you see any like small scratches in that, that's why. I also believe I still have the plastic coating over this, just because it's not really that scratched up and not in bad shape yet, so I don't see any reason to rip it off. Might as well protect it for as long as we can. Actually, there's one little scratch you can see right there. I got one little scratch in it, but that's probably from my pocket. But I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels in your hand. It has like angular edges. They're like kind of like a 45-degree angle here on the edge, and it gets rid of some of the sharpness of the edges. But it feels good in the hand. It vapes great. Battery life is fantastic. There is battery sag when you fire it. You can see that thing goes quite a bit down when you fire it, so I don't know, it almost seems like it's going almost to empty when you fire it, so I'm not sure if it's gonna you know, cut out on me anytime soon. But I did bring extra batteries with me to work today, so if it does cut out on me, you know, I'll have replacement batteries for it. But back to my 75 watts, which is where I like to keep it. And so it's a great device. I like it, and I hope you guys found this to be helpful. Have a great day.